Hey everybody, welcome to today's video, and I'm going to be replacing the speakers in my 2006 Pontiac Solstice. Now, not surprising, a car that is 20 years old with 20-year-old speakers, they do not sound as good as speakers today, so that's the main reason I will be changing them. So I'm going to be replacing 6 of the 7 speakers in the Solstice. There is one that sits directly behind the passenger seat, and I will not be replacing that because that is mainly for bass, so if I feel like I need to change it after this, I will do so in another video. So the speakers that I bought, by the way, I got all of these speakers from Crutchfield. So for the pillar speakers or tweeters, I have the Infinity Primo 753T. I got those for $66.45. For the side panels, I have the MTX Terminator 35. Those were $49.95. And for the doors speakers, I have the Rockford Fosgate R165-S, I believe, or it's a 5, I don't know. Cannot read my handwriting. And I got those for $71.99 for a total of $201.58. All right, so let's do a little sound test of the speakers currently. All right, so the first thing we need to do to get to the driver's side pillar speaker or the tweeter is you're gonna have to come up here, and there is a bolt here that you're going to take off. Now I'm using a T30 bit. And then that just comes all right off. All right, now the sun visor is off. I'm gonna pull this piece here down a bit, so there's probably going to be a couple clips here, so I'm going to pop off this side of the visor, maybe. There we go, pop that down so I can then separate, so pull this down so now I can take this piece off. There we go, take it, and then push that clip right there, and then it pops right on out. So now what we gotta do is pop off the old speaker. There are 3 clips here, which you just gotta pop it down and off. There's one, the other one is right there, and then the third and final one is right here. Pop that off. All right, so the tweeter doesn't fit. This doesn't fit perfectly. You can see it has some play in it. So it comes with 3 different brackets here. We have this one, this bracket here, this other bracket, and this third one here. So I'm gonna mess around with them and see which one I like best. Alrighty, so I decided I'm gonna use the smallest one of the 3 holders. All right, quick update for myself. I didn't install it correctly in that video back there. There's actually 2 tabs on the inside which you use to lock this in. So now that I put it in correctly, you can tell now that it sits a lot more flush in there instead of on the tippy top, so it holds it a lot better. I still will be super Gorilla Gluing it, but it will hold it a lot better. First, what I'm gonna do is get everything connected. So when you buy from Crutchfield, they do give you a new harness to connect to, which is nice. You're gonna take it and connect them together. So you're gonna do big piece here to that small one there, big one there, and then take the small one into the small one. Make sure you go in the middle there, like I just did. And then you're gonna take your crimper, probably crimp it this way, crimp it down together. Now it doesn't want to pull apart, same over here. So it has an inline crossover, and from what I looked up online is you're supposed to use it. So I'm not gonna need these because these don't have that connection, so I'm just going to these here. And then I'm just gonna strip these wires. Not too far, just enough that it gives me enough to play with. There we go. Same with down here. these. And strip this one. I'm gonna bring in the soldering sleeves. Having it on that end, and then line it up over on this end. Right there, and now I'm just gonna heat it up so it shrinks. Now let that cool. So that should be good. Alright, so now that all the wires are connected, I did pop off this clip on the other one, so now I'm going to install it back onto, we'll install it to our new one. I'm going to apply some Gorilla Glue onto the edges of these clips. Hold my screws in place. Alright, so now just press this where I want it. Oh, well, I let that dry actually. And I just maneuvered this around and put this back in place there. I'm gonna take some packing tape just because that's what I have, and just do my best to secure the crossover and the wires down. Just a little, okay, and my speaker down, son of a gun. We're gonna let that cure for 1 to 2 hours until the Gorilla Glue is set. All right, so now to install it back in, you just gotta hook this clip back up. That. And then basically just line up the clips. Get it down in there, and then line up the clips and push it in space. There you go. Put this back up. That's not right. And that gets rid of most of it. And that's how you change your column speaker or your tweeter. Now let's move on to the door. All right, so now we're gonna take off we're gonna change the side door speaker. And to do that, there are 3 screws we gotta take off. There's a screw over here, there's a screw up underneath here, and then there's a screw down there. All right, for the one behind the door handle, you just gotta take a screwdriver, and there's a little plastic piece which you can do there, and then you can see your screw right there. So you gotta pop this out, and now you can take this piece off, and then there's 2 screws here that you have to do, which are, I have a 9/30 seconds. Go. It's up there. I gotta get the bottom disconnected. Alright. There we go. There are, my knee in the way now, there's 4 screws holding the speaker in, so we're just gonna take those out. 4. So this comes out, and as you can see, it's just a simple. Okay, now that speaker's out. All right, so now I got the new speaker. I'm just gonna throw this out because there's the one already built into the door. So this is the speaker I'm working with here. The harness here, I just slid them onto these tabs here, and it works perfectly fine. So hook that in there, and then I don't know if it matters, but I'm just gonna keep it at the bottom. All right, now that's in there. Let's test it to make sure it works before I button the door all the way back up. All right, it's working. All right, now on to the final one, the rear one. All right, now for the rear speaker that's back here, first, I'm gonna lift this forward. It is right back here. I'll show you there that it is down there. And to get back there, to pop that piece off, we first have to start with popping off this trim piece. So, because it overlaps. So we gotta pop this off first. That up and off. All right, now that I got that panel off, now I'm just gonna come up and take this piece off. Oh, there's a screw right here. All right, before you want to start pulling everything off, hey, there's a screw here. Take that screw out. That sounded like something broke. And then down here, attached to the back piece. So just, there we go. And the little connection, take that off, and voila. All right, now we're over back at the workbench, got this whole thing off. So to take this speaker off, you just unscrew these little washer things. I don't know if you unscrew them. I don't know if you unscrew them. Cool. Unscrewing things work for me, so I'll do that real quick. Once those are off, you should just be able to slide it up. And that's the old speaker. All right, so here's the new speaker I got. It only has 2 mounting points, which will be fine. So on the back, you can see there's a big and a small one. With the harness from the clutch field, I'm going to slide the big one into, on the big one here. And then same for the little on little. They're tight enough that I don't feel like I need to try to crimp them at all. And now remember that it connected up here, so I'm going to do my best to push it up top. And now I'm going to take these little bits and put them back on. Alright, those are on, and I'm just going to put these ones back on because I want to have to deal with them outside of the car. So what we're going to do first, you got to plug it in. There we go. And then I'm going to line up the bottom first and then work my way up from there. Bottom up. Now I'll do put this back in up here. All right, that's back in. Put that down. Line it up. And then tap it in. And there you go. That is the final speaker. Now let's make sure it works and then do another audio test. So that's going to be the end to today's video. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, put on all of the notifications. Helps me out a lot. It helps me continue doing stuff on the cars and making content. But as you guys heard, the difference between the old speaker system and the new speaker system, I don't know how well it came across in the video, but in person, the clarity is a lot better and there is a lot more bass without touching anything. For $200, I would say it's definitely worth the investment on upgrading your speakers. I will not be touching the speaker behind the passenger seat because that only deals with bass, and I think it already has enough already. But let me know your guys' thoughts about this. If I did anything wrong, have anything to let me know about, leave a comment down below. The thing about the installation, super easy in my opinion, a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. The one kind of difficult part would be these pillar speakers, having to solder them together because they were the crosswire units, but I'm sure you could get ones without that, so that wouldn't be an issue, and it's just plug and play like the rest of them were. But anyway, thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later!